Click. Hello, people. How are you? Bit of a different backdrop for you today. I'm sorry I can't get the light right on my face. If I go back here, you can see it's me. But can you hear me? Seems like I'm missing the fun in the UK. I hope you're all safe and sound. I know some sticks and bricks dwellers that are really struggling. Power cut off and all sorts. I think some of you vanners will be offering parking on their drives and offering them some warmth. I see there was a guy doing that in an old Merc. Had a couple in his van, came out of their house and warmed up in his van. I thought that was fantastic. Need to see more of that. Where am I? The two pictures I put up on Facebook and Instagram were 20 kilometres apart. Centre of Bucharest to that narrowest bridge I've ever crossed. Yeah, that was fun. That bridge is just along there, and Bucharest is just over there, and the lower Danube is just down there, which is where I'll cross into Bulgaria. New variant allowing. We'll see. So I did the big city. I don't know why I do big cities. I keep thinking I'll go into a big city, I'll find somewhere to park, have a few beers, get a decent meal. Bound to be a vegan restaurant in Bucharest. Can't find anywhere to park. I've been talking to a guy who came up on European Van Life, been very helpful. He's Romanian, lives in Germany. He said he'd translate for me, did a search. I've got gas, I need gas. I've got a little bit left, maybe 2 days worth, and I've also got my trangy, so I'll make him a bruise on that. And he found a dealer in town, so I thought I'd go in for that. I wanted to see that building, the palace. The dealer didn't. I mean, everybody exchanges gas bottles. Nobody will sell you a gas bottle. I'd need to buy a local gas bottle and a regulator. So I googled the camping shop, got there. There's a 2 metre high parking space. Anyway, the big city. Don't know why I bothered. But anyway, they got trams and trolley cars and buses and all sorts in there. And I was going up one boulevard and the tram lines were down the centre of the road, but there was a fence, so you couldn't cross onto the tram line. And a bus went up the tram line. I thought, oh, that's pretty clever, but the bus is on the tram line as well. And then a tram went up the tram line, and then another bus went up the tram line, and then a car went up the tram line, just the traffic was horrendous. And you get into the centre and it's empty, and it was Friday afternoon, everybody'd probably gone home. But the building is the heaviest building in the world. It was built originally by Ceausescu. I think he was shot round the back, him and his wife. It was all marble and gold taps and all that stuff. What a good dictator needs. It's now the government building. There was a NATO flag outside. I think both the parliaments use it. There was an EU flag outside. Really big old building. And then that big avenue, is it they call it? The circle of other buildings look like government buildings as well, because they're all empty. No lights on, not apartments or anything. And yeah, pretty special place I suppose, but not for me. The city traffic was just woof. And then 20 kilometres later I'm in this. There's a hawk keeps sitting in that tree up there. I've seen magpies around, big foxes run along there. There was something moving over there, and I think it was a car going by. I think it was a deer or a bear. I don't know, I couldn't get a bead on it. Beautiful spot. That car's been up and down. I saw 4 cars yesterday, one of them twice. Quad bike went up just now. Horse and carts go along that road over there. And I've seen a car go up over there. The river's just down there. Might take a walk down there later and have a look. Yeah, So Bulgarian border on Tuesday when a pension pays. I don't want to. I've got about 50 quid left, but I don't want to get to the border and find I've got to buy this and buy that and not have enough money and then go back the next day. So I'm going to run 10-20 kilometers south tomorrow, and there's another park up down there, sit there for the night and then go over the next morning. Where am I? What am I talking about next? Oh, do you see that thing about IKEA? They're doing an experiment in Japan. 10 metre square living space for £1 a week. I thought, well, most van lovers do that. Bill's about 6 metres long, 2 metres wide. So I've probably got a little bit more than most. I could do it in less. Van lifers are already there, IKEA. Support van life. We're better for the planet. Mind you, 10 metre living space without being able to change the view every couple of days. Couldn't handle that. Stay in your vans. Alright, I know where I am now. The IKEA thing. Rubbish. The rubbish is just horrendous. The litter, the plastic bottles and cans chucked out of car windows. There's very few lay-bys. There's more here than there has been in some of the other countries that's come through. But they're just full of litter. There's bins in most of them, but they're too technical. But it's also all along the side of the roads and the ditches, and it's thrown out the car windows. And it's just, you can have all the COP meetings you want in their private jets. You can have all the climate crisis gatherings you want. But if your people are throwing their rubbish on the road, you've lost. You're killing yourselves, you're killing your children, you're killing your grandchildren, you're killing your great-great-grandchildren. They're going to have to sort it out. They're going to be drowning in the litter and eating the plastic and the animals and then the crops. If you're buying your small bottles of water and your tubs of goody food in single-use plastic containers, you're part of the problem. Today's lecture. Throw away is a lie. You're not throwing it away, you're moving the problem on. Oh, talking about plastic, 7-foot plastic policeman story now. When we were in, this is still 3D, out in Germany on exercise, outside some of the little villages, they used to have a 7-foot plastic policeman stood there like that. Slow the traffic down. And he was in a white jacket, white hat, green trousers, standard German policeman of the time. And they looked quite realistic, and I don't know if it worked, but anyway. Early one morning, our short wheelbase Land Rover came back to our location with most of the 7-foot plastic policemen sticking out the back. So they'd acquired one, didn't ask any questions. We hid it, strapped it inside the roof of my truck for the journey back, took it back to the UK. I remember the customs officer wasn't too impressed when he got in the back and saw it. But anyway, got back, got it out, a couple of days later, put it at the top of the telegraph pole over the line shack. We thought it was really good. RSM was not so impressed. So we got a phone call, we had to take it down. We got a picture taken with the troop, but it stood in the middle of the troop. We had to paint it blue and give it to the local school. There's still some posters around on the internet on a couple of veterans groups of that 7-foot plastic policeman. And I brought that story up because I saw a cut-out plastic police car on a bad junction, a bad S-bend in Romania, coming down the road, and made me think of that. But I don't think it works in Romania because they overtake on level zebra crossings, they overtake outside schools level crossings, they overtake on zigzag, they overtake on solid white lines. The driving is just absolutely amazing. And I've been trying to work the logic through why you would live that dangerously, and I think they must have the best hospitals in the world. because everybody wants to get in them and get the free meds and food. Can't think of any other reason. It's just fantastic. I come down a main road. It was 4 lanes, 2 in each direction. The near side lanes are slightly narrower, and there's potholes. The trucks normally stick on the outer lane and just bowl on through, and you just you go along the road and all of a sudden the road disappears on your lane. It can be interesting. And I saw a car flipped on its side in a town just off a roundabout. So he'd obviously done the roundabout too fast and flipped it in town, in traffic. Just poof. Yeah. So I avoided main roads, hence this road. This road's fantastic. I'll put some pictures up. And that bridge that's the narrowest bridge I've ever been over. Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, where am I going to go now? The tragedy in the Channel, the bus fire, a coach fire in Bulgaria, and my spirit's up to this week because I was a bit self-indulgent last week, and then these tragedies, and now, I'm living the dream. I can't work out sometimes whether I'm lonely, just alone, or basically bored with my own company. I think I'm probably just bored with my own company. But the adventure continues. I had another story I wanted to tell you. Oh, Freddie Mercury. Yeah, it was the 30th anniversary of Freddie Mercury's death. And that kind of struck a chord because I was on an Albania trip from Germany. And we'd set off the day before he made his press conference, so didn't know anything about it, and got back a day or two after his funeral. Didn't know anything about it, didn't know Freddie Mercury had announced he was dying of AIDS and died. I think it was months later that I found out. But that was 30 years ago, so it's 30 years that I was doing the Albania trips and the Romania trips. A little story about border crossings. When we used to go into Romania to start with, the borders could be, it took you an hour to get into Hungary from Austria, a couple of hours to get from Hungary into Romania. Austria wasn't so bad. They would try and sell you money at a rip-off rate. But Hungary to Romania was... it got to like some of the stuff we were taking to the orphanages, the locals didn't even have. So we were giving cuddly toys to the border guards and things like that. And we used to watch. There was 3 kinds of crossing you could do. There was the German way, which was schnell, get a move on. We're in a hurry. We're German. We're in a rush, and they'd stay there for days. And there was the Belgian way, which was give everybody 200 cigarettes. And they'd stay there for a couple of days, see how many cigarettes they could get. And what we used to do, we all smoked, most of us smoked, and we used to have 5 or 6 cigarettes in a packet, and then open a new packet. So in the compartment in the side of the door in the Land Rover, in the Discovery, we'd have 6 or 7 half, 3/4 smoked packets of cigarettes. So you'd sit at the border, and they'd come over to chat, and you'd offer them a cigarette, and then you'd say, take the packet. They'd be pleased with that. So we used to get through in a few hours. It's all about perception, I don't know. But that's how we used to do it. Now for a poem. Is that Hawke turned up yet? No. I've got a couple of poems for you today. Hope this is working, sat outside. Just thought it'd be a nice change for you. That one's the second one. Alright, I'm not sure if I've done this one before. I need to check my notes, but this one doesn't really rhyme either. It just went on mine. Spiritual, awake, Empathic. Great words, great meaning. Inside you is good and bad. Feed the good. The bad will stay lean. Be kind, be nice, show love, show kind. Negative is the strongest force. Negative is the strongest enemy. Fancy words don't beat it. Being good does. The good goes on. Let the good grow strong. Now, you've all been bamboozled with the November money collecting scams. Remembrance Sunday, I still buy a poppy, but no way do I give as much as I used to. Children in need, yeah, if you paid your taxes. This is the charity waltz. The charity waltz. Charity should dance with its needer and count its supplier. When it dances with the banker, it becomes a corporate taker, a faker, a maker. Charities that stack the cash so it can write a report becomes trash. And this is one about somebody, I won't tell you who, if you can work it out, you'd ask them. A sunflower, so tall and serene, its head out there to sway, so free, so clean, its own light beam. But held it is kept in a place of home, its roots entwined with others like its own. Tried to break free, tried to be like the birds it could see, but knew it was tied with duty and love, the fee. Anyway, folks, stay warm. I'm south of the snow at the moment. I don't know if it's going to come my way. You stay safe up there. And happy travels. Click.